Hello and welcome to the Digital Motorsports Indy 2000 PM18 Pro Championship live on Apex Racing TV and live on the iRacing Esports Network. Apologies that we're bringing this race to you a little bit late, but we are just on lap 1 of this championship decided. This is the final meeting of the season, round 6 of the championship, and we've still got a championship to decide. If anyone's watched the amateur series just before this on Apex Racing TV, you know how exciting this car check combination can be, and so far it's looking like it's going to be the same way. Oscar Mangan leading the way, O'Shea and Walsh behind him, with Nicky Meredith, Jason Cooper, and Keith Dempsey. Dempsey losing 2 places off the start. His championship leader is Dempsey as well. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is Austin Knight with Sam Kumo on the cameras. And Austin, looking forward to this one. This is the pro category. Always really close order. And with the slipstream effect around this circuit, as we almost have a collision there, getting out your Roman Grosjean impersonation. There was Nicky Meredith, but that's the type of race we're going to see around here. It's now around here, but the slipstream effect and the speeds around this circuit are extremely high, so it should be very entertaining.
As a Grosjean fan, I'm not going to take offense to that.
Wow, you're the only one. You're the No, I like Ocean as well, actually, too.
As we were looking at some of these battles for 10th place, Devaney in the middle, and oh no, he gets punted into the stands by Robert Barable. He was buried in that gearbox, and something was bound to happen, and unfortunately they just ran out of track in the braking zone, and Robert got into the back of him right there, sent that car up, and almost, actually, he pitchforked him.
Oh, and off the circuit's Faulkner, that's into the wall. And is that actual wheel gone? No, he hasn't lost the wheel, but I would have thought that's going to break the suspension, though, on that car. Rabbit in the car number 7, trying to battle Peter McCann. Round the outside goes Rabbit. Has he got a better exit than McCann? It's the 19 versus the 7. Apologies, the 10 versus the 7. I can read numbers. And the 10 on the inside into the final corner. However, we've seen this so many times. It's apologies for all the F1 references. I made quite a few bits. It's a bit like when you got the DRS on the next straight. You kind of want to be behind and then get the DRS for the next straight so that you can slipstream your way past. As Marchenkovas and Yamantis, 2 veterans of the series, they're alongside one another into turn 1 on this lap day, and it is Yamantis who gets ahead. Meanwhile, Rabbit ahead of McCann, but there's nearly contact further up. Keith Dempsey, who's trying to recover some positions. First up is Jason Cooper. Peter Dempsey, who is, of course, the brother to Keith Dempsey, battling along with them as well. So they're going to be a little bit of bump drafting. They're going to go 3 wide, and that is not smart whatsoever. Peter Dempsey was their contact. Keith Dempsey
there's contact again.
And through goes Jason Cooper. He does recover one of the places, 5th place. Peter Dempsey, though, apologies, Keith Dempsey does make up the pace, but that was not smart there from Peter Dempsey. That was extremely risky.
Yeah, sorry for cutting in and out of you right there. I was just extremely excited to see these guys go 3 wide. And then the contact, I for sure thought we were going to see a massive crash right there, but it was very impressive to see. After that small bit of contact, they kept pointing forward, and you don't really see that much in these single-seater cars. Usually there's contact, there is carnage.
So the championship going into this round, and this might be why the Dempseys were fighting so hard despite being teammates and family relatives. They are the top 2 in the championship. So Keith Dempsey is on 282 points. Peter Dempsey is on 250. However, they've got to watch out for Mangan on 241. O'Shea and Walsh on 226 and Robert Moore on 209, McManus as well on 206. So actually it's only, it's all those guys could win, along with Cooper, Stagg and Kelly, but it's unlikely that they will do. But certainly Dempsey, the 2 Dempseys and Mangan are the ones to watch out for today. So if Mangan can win this race 1 and have a couple of cars between him and the Dempsey brothers, he could start making up some points. 50 points for a win. You get 50 points for a win. 40 per second. And I think for thirds, you get 35. Then it's 32. Then it's 30, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it's really important for Mangan to win this race. If he wins this race and take out 15 points of Keith Dempsey's lead, as we saw in the amateur race earlier on, Austin, a collision on that one is very possible around this circuit, and it could properly mix up the action.
Yeah, you don't want to be involved in any sort of incident right here as the Dempseys are going 4th and 5th right now. They're going to resume their battle, and they aren't holding anything back. Relatives or not, it's still going to be a sibling rivalry as they're going side by side through turns 4 and 5. Actually, this is Cooper and Dempsey.
Yeah, so Keith Dempsey, oh dear, I've had 6 rounds to get used to that, and previous seasons as well. But it is Keith Dempsey who has been able to pull away. Peter Dempsey now defending. So at the moment, Keith Dempsey would be extending his lead in the championship to approximately 34 points to his brother going into the final race of the season. However, Mangan would move up into 2nd place in the championship if it ended like this. But so far as well, another little stat, which I certainly know Jack Canan has been very entertained by this season. I think hopefully all you viewers have been entertained by, but we've had different race 2 winners in every round. So we've had 4 different race 2 winners so far this season out of 4 race 2s. So we might well be on for a 5th today as well. McCann, meanwhile, he's battling with Barable and Devaney. McCann getting ahead, and Devaney now getting ahead of Barable as well.
Yeah, Barable had that incident on the opening lap. On the opening laps, I must say. I believe it was lap 2, but got to the back of somebody else. That car looking back to tip-top shape, I guess, but he might be struggling with something as Shane Rabbit heads into the pits.
Don't know what this one is about. He's in. By the way, top 15 reversed for race 2. So you want to finish in the top 15. So you don't want to drop back too far. Evan Walsh, I think, will move ahead of Shane Rabbit into that position. Really smart driving right now from Oisin Walsh. Really smart driving. He's got the opportunity to pass Mangan at every corner pretty much. But he's not. He realised that Mangan is faster. May as well stay behind, as Keith Dempsey's up into 3rd place, by the way. This is big for Dempsey's championship. Up into 3rd past Meredith. But Walsh knows, may as well just stay in the draft of Mangan, and that way they have a chance at staying ahead of the others and not lose each other too much time. However, the problem is, Keith Dempsey on that last lap was 0.4 of a second faster than these drivers, and he's now 2 seconds behind. So by my calculations, 5 and a bit laps to go. That means game on, and we're going to have an entertaining race.
Yeah, Oisin should not try to attack Mangan at all, and Mangan does not want Oisin to attack, because if they start battling, that time's going to fall between them even faster. That 2.3 seconds that they're losing to Keith Dempsey will disappear faster. And I would say on lap, if they start battling, lap 8 is when we should get a 3-way fight for the lead here at Road America, and it will be for the literal lead of the championship and the race.
Yeah, Walsh still with a chance as well. 4th place in the championship going into this round. But you'd need the others to all crash. To be fair, that's a possibility. We saw it in race 2. Lots of drivers getting involved in both race starts. As Meredith has come back again at Keith Dempsey. We saw this earlier on as well. It's very tricky to break the draft. You kind of need to be about 0.4 of a second a lap faster. Maybe
Meredith is not helping at all.
No, he's not. But
Meredith right there. Well, actually, Dempsey's going to get a great run down this straight right here to catch up to Meredith, but going side by side in a turn 1 is going to be hurting these drivers so much, especially if catching up to the leaders is your #1 goal. Dempsey looking down to the inside into proper turn 3. They go a little bit of hung up on corner exit, but jumps up into 3rd. 2.5 seconds to Mr. Walsh.
If you were Meredith in this situation, would you be battling Dempsey or would you be staying behind?
Depends if they were my teammates.
Okay, he's not... Oh yeah, they're teammates, aren't they? Okay, your teammates.
I will let my teammate through. Now, if I wasn't a teammate, I wouldn't care.
Okay. I would do the same. Personally, because he's now dropped 0.7 of a second back. However, that is still within slipstream range. Easy flat to the kink, even in slipstream and turbulent air. Not that there is much, admittedly, in in this car. But look at the gap comes out 5/10. I mean, that's 3/10 gains from the carousel into Canada corner. And so that just shows how tricky it is to break the draft. You need to be half a second a lap faster at least in order to break the draft. And Meredith is right back on stone. Even the penultimate corner, it's flat out in these cars. And so you just pick up a draft lead there as well. Very much similar to Silverstone, I think, this, where you've got corners where in GT cars and in touring cars, you have to brake for, you have to lift for. But in single-seaters, they're flat. So a little bit like Cops, and you got Maggots as well, and a couple of other corners as well at Silverstone. Right, and it's very similar around this circuit as well. You can just like flat out a couple of these corners and make them almost into extended straights. 3 seconds now between second and third, and so I think this should be a two-way battle for the race winner. I can't see third and fourth getting back into this.
They're coming up to a lap car, and I think this lap car might prove to be a small issue, especially if they can't get them onto a straight. Walsh might have a look when this lap car unfortunately gets into the way of him. So I expect Walsh to make a move very soon as Mangan and Walsh approach the lap car of Stack. And they've slowed up. Walsh and Mangan have slowed up compared to Keith Dempsey.
Yeah, Dempsey takes out. You know what? They've kind of matched what in the first 3 sectors, to be fair, on this lap. Maybe Dempsey a few hundreds faster. Now Mangan might be able to get a little bit of a draft from Stack. Tony usually a very respectable driver. I think quite an experienced driver. So I don't think he'll cause too much of a problem for these drivers. Isn't associated to any of their teams. So he should just let them go down the pit straight. Of course, Stack shouldn't be where he is. He just got caught up in an instant earlier on in the race.
This is a very tricky spot for Stat because there's not really any preferred way to lead off to the side and let the car behind you by. As they get onto the front straight, he's going to pull off and go down to the inside, but Mangan just follows him, taking up all that draft. And here's Walsh following him as well, getting up some of that draft as well. So both these guys going to pass very easily on Stack, and now Stack going to be a little bit of an obstacle for Dempsey, but it's going to be a bit of a tow actually for Dempsey if he can get within, I would say, a second and a half to Stack coming up on these straights.
Wonder if we could ride on board with one of these drivers who's in second place out of one of these battles, just see if they're in the rev limiter in the tow, because often that can be the limiting factor in terms of passing your rival. Oh, Meredith has had a change of heart. He's not passing. Well, if only he did that 2 laps ago, these guys would be 2 seconds further up the road, and they might have a chance of winning this race.
He might be listening to the broadcast.
Maybe. We are experts. We are so smart. We are so smart in the country box. Don't let anyone ever argue any other way.
That's smart at keeping the cars on the track and not being hit in the face by wheels.
Exactly. That's what we're experts on. So I mean, we have qualifications. I've taken part in races before. Taken part in many races. I don't know about you, Austin. I don't know if your credentials are quite that high.
2 karting state Texas titles, 250 Baja race win, race in USF 2000, and I crashed a car.
All right, so Austin's accomplishments aren't very high then, but mine are brilliant. So we really are. I realise Austin is laying the team down a little bit here, but my experience and my skill certainly propping us up. So we are a fantastic duo up in the commentary box. Evan Walsh battling with Shane Rabbit.
Oh, what was that?
Oh no, and into the wall goes Walsh, hard into the wall. He'll have to tow back to the pits from there. Yeah, was that a back bike? Must have been Murray. Yeah, you're right.
I think Murray had a little bit of an incident coming out of that turn, like maybe a bit of a... That was so odd seeing him go slow that mid-corner, which caused that incident. I'm not going to be surprised if there was a penalty going to be served out for Murray right there, but oh no. Gonna replay what's happened to Murray. Ah, he slid it. And he spun it. And, well, he's just getting back onto the track, and oh no.
Want to foresee a penalty for that one?
Yeah, we probably are. That was a very dangerous rejoin. Just put the foot down the loud pedal. Very 2018 Roman Grosjean. Like 2019 Grosjean.
I think it was 18. Well, at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was 18.
Yeah, it was 2018. I was watching Drive to Survive, and just both of them kind of blended together.
Nearly became a chef, did Roman Grosjean. As a Roman Grosjean fan, I imagine you knew that. So, after he got kicked from Formula 1 the first time, he became a chef. But I don't think he's very good at cooking, which is quite a flaw.
No, he's good at cooking. I've seen
he is a good one. I think did he release a book, actually? I think he may have had a cookbook.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm not a big fan of French cuisine, personally, so I probably won't buy it.
You know, he started actually as a competitive skier.
Did not know that. Not know that.
And Walsh in the draft. Mangan as its white flag out here at Road America. And I think we're going to start seeing the fireworks fly as Dempsey sets in a new fast lap of 1:59.573. And that is just 0.3 faster than Mangan and Walsh. And I think Mangan is about to be under pressure from Walsh as he sends it into proper turn 2. Down the straight, all up in that draft now.
So, if he's going to go for it, Walsh, he's waited 9 and a bit laps to make this move. Now he's got to go for it. Is he going to go for it into turn 3? No, he's going to wait till Canada corner, it seems, or maybe even the final corner.
It's going to be very tricky to make a move down to the final corner. That will risk a lot of incidents, but Walsh, we've seen him do some incredible stuff here. I think going into Canada corner, he's going to try to make his move, but I don't expect Manigan to just set aside and just let him by. I expect Manigan to hold that inside line and try to make Walsh have a mistake, maybe push him a bit wide. As they fly through the carousel, the car is almost sliding around. They're using all the car's limits to them, and it's back onto the back straight as Walsh is in prime position to jump up into second, but he's dropped back a bit. He was 0.3 entering this, so he's going to need a run of a century heading into the braking zone. Here they go, side by side. Walsh down to the inside, Manigan around the outside. Into Canada corner they go. Walsh sends it into there, and Walsh goes into the gravel.
Can Mangan come back? 2 corners to go. He didn't defend it, did Mangan? He looks happy to let the position go. He's got to go for it into the final corner, or is there time on the run to the line, or has Walsh absolutely stolen this one? He has stolen it. Walsh is going to take this race win, and Mangan's championship hope surely dashed right there, and it is O'Shea and Walsh, perfect strategic drive there to win race 1. Meredith beats Dempsey, which is some consolation there for Mangan, but he needed to win that race, did Mangan. He's lost 10 points there, and that was so strange, wasn't it, Austin? Why did he not cover the inside line into Canada corner there? Was he just... Did he think the outside line was going to be the better line, or what?
Well, the outside line, you have the opportunity to do switchback, especially somebody sent it onto the inside, which he did, and then he made the mistake. He got into the gravel, he had to slow up, and that was directly in the face of Manigan, and Manigan had nowhere to go. He had to get onto the brakes, so that mistake really cost Manigan. If he just committed to the switchback move, Manigan might be standing in victory lane.
So that's 40 points for Mangan, as this is going to be close to the line. Cooper versus Rabbit. Cooper gaining 400s, 300s, 200s. It's going to be almost
he's on it, he's on it.
And Cooper's going to get it. Cooper, or did he get it? He did get it by less than 100th of a second. It was by 3,000ths of a second across the line. So that's what I thought Mangan might be priming up to do, but he had an awful last corner, did Mangan, and couldn't get it done. So massive shame for Oscar, who It moves up into second place in the championship. However, Keith Dempsey will be the leader of the championship going into the last round. Still plenty of time to change, though. The championship lead after that round is going to be 8 points less. So I think it's going to be, was 41. Now 33 points, I believe, is the gap between
that could have been
Dempsey
higher.
and Mangan. It should have been 23. Should have been 23 if he'd won that race.
No, Meredith cost Dempsey a lot of points right there by his move down into the very final corner. Meredith overtook Dempsey in the final corner, so Dempsey could have finished on the podium, but he decided he wanted to steal the podium away from his teammates in the final corner and make that championship very close. And so the start of this race is going to be absolutely on point, and race 2 is going to bring a lot of fireworks for everyone, as Sam's going to read you your results.
Absolutely. Oisin Walsh wins out by 0.2 of a second. Only led one lap with the last one. That's the important one. Oscar Mangan 0.2 of a second behind. Very strange for Mangan. Remember, GT4 champion last season. Very strange to see him let that win escape his grasp right there. Nicky Meredith finishes in 3rd place. Keith Dempsey in 4th, but with a decent championship margin going into the last round. Just needs to basically finish in the top 10, Dempsey, and he will be the champion for this Indy Pro 2000 Cup. Peter Dempsey, his brother, finishing quite a distant 5th place in the end. Arias Yamantis was in 6th. There's Valentinos Marchenkovic, Robert Moore, Peter McCann, Robert Barable, Michael Devaney, Brian McManus, Jason Cooper, watch out for him in race 2. He'll be starting up in 3rd place. Shane Rabbit, Richard Faulkner will be on the first good pole. Lawrence de Soswa, who was the last driver on the lap. 1 lap down was Tony Stack and Ewan Murray. 2 laps down was Evan Walsh, and Jordan Kelly did not finish. 10 laps down. I don't think he even started. Didn't even start,
yeah, I don't think he started.
Did Jordan Kelly, which is a shame because we know he is a quick driver for VRA. I think he won a race earlier on this season, Jordan Kelly, although I'm not sure about that one. 1 more minute. No, not 1 more minute. It's a really short warm-up we have in this. I have a 2-minute warm-up before race 2, so barely enough time for us to catch our breath in the commentary box, but we'll soon be underway, and we'll soon be able to take you through your grid, which is basically just the results reverse. So we'll go through it pretty quickly because you'll have a good guess at what it is already. Because Rich Faulkner, who finished in 15th place in race 1, on pole position, that's Shane Rabbit, Jason Cooper, Brian McManus, Michael Devaney, Robert Barable, Peter McCann, Robert Moore, Valentinos Marchenkovic, and Arias Yamantis in the top 10. Oisin Walsh, race 1 winner, starting from 15th on the grid. Remember, we've had 4 different race 2 winners so far this season, out of 4, because we also had the oval round at Phoenix, where there wasn't a race 2, but besides that, we've always seen different race 2 winners. I wonder if that streak will continue into this final race of the season. Almost all the drivers on the grid. Unfortunately, Kelly isn't going to join us again, which is a little bit of a shame, but we will have 19 cars on the grid for this race 2 of the evening. It's Richard Faulkner then from the pole position. Shane Rabbit alongside what can Cooper and McManus do? A dangerous second row of the grid. And can Keith Dempsey win the championship? Car number 5, Faulkner from the pole. The lights go out, and it's a very good start for Faulkner. Awful start for Rabbit, who is whistling down the order. Might even be letting the drivers pass. That's such a slow start right there for Rabbit, who's already dropped to Lawrence on the top 10. We've got a crash round. Who is that? That's Marchenkovic and Meredith into one another. And, well, thank goodness that wasn't one of the championship contenders involved in that one. Mangan with an awesome start. Also, Keith Dempsey with an awesome start. Dempsey up 5 places already. They're very slow.
And around goes Cooper!
And are we going to get others involved in that one? We've got a couple of others. Moore was involved in that one. And Cooper, of course, as you were saying, no, Cooper got through that one. Cooper in first place now. And Dempsey is up 10 places. And we've got another huge crash on the run to turn 3. Are they going to bounce back onto the track? No, they're very fortunate. That was Shane Rabbit. Remember, you started in 2nd place. But Keith Dempsey is up 10 places in 3 corners. Astonishing.
Yeah, Peter's up into 3rd right now, leading off this massive, ragged pack of wasps. pretty much of all these cars going inside, outside, on all around again. And what a start that was by Peter Dempsey and Keith Dempsey, second and third right now, as Walsh is up into seventh. But Walsh had to avoid a lot of crazy stuff. We're going 3 wide in the carousel. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That was even more chaotic than the race 2 start. I think several incidents all the way down the order, and I think it could have been worse, each one of them. Dempsey into the lead. Keith Dempsey has taken the lead. Back comes Cooper. Keith Dempsey well on course for the title. Remember, he just needs, basically, to finish this race. He's got a 33-point lead going into this final meeting of the season. Even if he doesn't finish, this might be his job rather, but I don't think it will be. But it's looking very good for him. Here comes Jason Cooper, though, Swift Cooper Esports, and he's going to try to come back, and that's going to be annoying for Dempsey, because he'll be thinking, mate, just stay behind me, we'll pull away from the rest of the order, I win the championship, and we have a battle on the last lap. But Cooper doesn't seem to have that same mentality.
Cooper's one of those guys that he's always going to go for the lead no matter what. He's a great guy, too, so I don't blame it at all. As we get through a wreck fest of a first lap as we start lap number 2, and hopefully there's not a lot of bumping and banging throughout the rest of this race. Is some great racing at all, but that has absolutely spread out the field, and that is very disastrous. And Walsh is in the pits.
Then got too much damage then. Oh, look at all the drivers in the pits. They do get a fast repair, hence why they're all exiting out at the same time, despite having different levels of damage. Ocean Walsh back into 13th place. So that's
going to drop him
7 cars.
Of the. Yeah, that's going to drop him out of the second place of the championship now and promote Peter Dempsey up into second.
I think he was 4th, to be fair. Oh no, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, because he did win. So yeah, you may well be right, up into second place.
I'm thinking of Madigan. I'm sorry. I think you're both thinking of Madigan.
Well, I think he may have had a point though, because Walsh was 4th place going into this round. So I think he was ahead of Peter Dempsey, but now he's dropped back behind Peter Dempsey in the championship. A lap 1 incident between car number 3 and car number 7 under investigation. And Shane Rabbit.
Walsh and Shane Rabbit, and Rabbit got the hard end of the stick right there as he was in the wall. As we're watching Michael Devaney and Madigan battle out 4th.
Mangan will be past here very soon. Dempsey almost broke the drafts. It's 6/10 at the moment. It was up to 7/10 coming out of the final corner, but Cooper just staying within draft range at the moment. And should be able to catch back up into 3. There goes Mangan. That was only a matter of time till that happened. Mangan's going to have to get crafty here. If he's going to win this championship, he needs to win this race and Keith Dempsey to finish outside the top 10 in order to win the title. I'm not quite sure if there's a plan in order to do that. Barrel's just dropped down, by the way. Shame for Rob. I think, has he towed back to the pits? I think he's still going, but he's still going. But poor turn 1 for him there. But yeah, I don't know how Mangan's going to do this one. How he's going to win this championship.
What is happening right here in this battle? As Peter is defending onto the inside, really not defending it. Oh, there was contact right behind him as Stack was hit by Dussois. Really, Lawrence. Thank you.
It took me 5 rounds to work out that one, to be fair.
And I just hopped in 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, if anyone ever gets bored during this race, just listen to Austin pronounce these names, and it'll put a smile on your
whenever
face.
I get it wrong.
Yeah. You don't want to kill our viewers, honestly.
I didn't say it was alcohol.
Oh, fair enough. Nice
Because I don't
glass
drink.
of water. Nice glass of water.
I drink milk. Tony
Well,
Stat,
as you should be.
great run. Yeah, always drink milk.
Well, do you
Tony
drink tea?
No.
Do you have tea in Texas?
We have sweet tea.
Okay, that's not tea. That's nothing like tea. Proper English breakfast tea. Thank you very much.
You come down here to Texas, I will give you some southern love and then give you some sweet tea. That came out wrong.
It depends how you interpret it. Dempsey in the lead. 10th of a second clear of Jason Cooper. Is Cooper going to go for the overtake? Cooper with fast lap of the race into the 59s.
Nah, Cooper's going to just sit back there and wait for that final lap. He saw race number 1. He knows what he needs to do.
The championship may not come down to the last lap. However, hopefully we have Dempsey, Cooper, Dempsey and Mangan all go up against one another on the last lap. That would be a good end to the season. That's what I'm hoping for, because at the moment, we're on course for that to happen.
Well, Dempsey is closing in on Dempsey and Cooper, and Mangan is just right behind by I would say a second to Peter. So we might get a four-way fight for the lead and possibly the championship if there was an incident. And speaking of incidents, Murray's off the track in turn 3.
Yeah, that was properly carnage. Sorry that we didn't quite show that one, because it's difficult to keep up with this battle. So that's some fantastic liveries as well on all of these cars. Very colourful in the sun of Wisconsin. McCann behind Stack, as you can see for yourself. Walsh, by the way, up 13 places from his start. Evan Walsh finished last of the runners. In fact, last of the starters in race 1, but he's done very well since then. As Evan Walsh is up into 6th place now at the front of this chain. However, I don't think any of them are fast enough to break the draft. Usually we see these trains being broken by the middle of the chain starting to battle a bit too much. Maybe that's what we're about to see with De Soswa trying to get past Ewan Murray.
De Soswa just backed out of it. We saw Murray down to the inside. We know Murray's been a little bit later on the brakes than everyone else. He knows how to just make it go up, and we got a 10-second time penalty for car number 7. That's Shane Rabbit, who's out of the race. So I guess he gets 10 seconds to wait at the food line in the garage, because this car's in bits.
I think post-race penalties, community service, or league admin service. That's great, because as a league admin, there's a lot of things to do, and the Digital Motorsports organisers do a fantastic job at it, with points ordering and sorting out the registration for the drivers doing the promotion.
Oh, look at
there
this
goes
move!
Down the inside, is there going to be contact with Peter Dempsey going for the move, and Cooper had to take evasive action, and Keith Dempsey now opening up the gap to 9/10 of a second, and that is draft range. So I think he's breaking the draft now as Keith Dempsey. This could be a pivotal moment. Dempsey, they're going absolutely mad, and he's going to try again.
Yeah, Cooper might have some damage after making front wing contact with the back wheel of Peter, and Peter sends it up onto the inside as they head into the carousel here at Road America. And Peter now up into 2nd place, and now Jason Cooper, we don't know if he has wing damage at all. I can't see any damage on that car. I can see the front wings on these cars actually pretty strong.
Oh, he's slow. He's slow.
But there is something wrong.
Delta.
Yeah.
Mangan will be past him. That's such a shame for Jessica. I don't think it was his fault.
No, he was just trying to avoid it.
So it's not going to be a 4-way battle. Best we can hope for is a 3-way battle now. Top 3 separated by 3 seconds now. Oh, that's going to be contact car number 4 of Evan Walsh. Wow, I thought that was heading into the wall right there, because the gravel's so slippery on this new tyre muzzle. But Walsh off the circuit. Oh, on the brakes, no problems. I'll just hop back onto the circuit and take the corners now.
You really don't want to get onto the brakes either, because any upset in pace is going to really just unsettle that car, especially in the grass. As Jason Cooper, oh, so much is looking good for him, and actually you can see the damage on that car right there. It's a small nick, but it's a very serious impact on that car. Fast Superior going to go in, and he's going to get back on track and try to finish out this race.
Longest pit lane in iRacing, I believe, this circuit. Indy might be longer, but Indy's a lot faster. Indy, though, you're going like a 200 mile an hour Indy, though. So.
Oh yeah, you're going. Yeah, but there's more time penalty at Indianapolis because 220 220 miles an hour. We're using Indy cars as example, as it always should be, as that speed. And that pit lane speed limit at Indianapolis is 55 miles an hour. So that is it is.
Okay, I thought it was a lot higher than that. Is Daytona faster? Because Daytona's got a faster than normal pit lane limit, I think.
I think it's at 45 Daytona.
Oh,
Walsh gets turned by Walsh got into the back of Stack, and Stack goes spinning around.
We're just going to take a 1 minute ad break, and we'll be back with you very soon on the iRacing Esports Network for this final round of the Digital Motorsports Indy 2000 Cup.
Enjoying what you're watching and want to become the next sim racing star? Here at digitalmotorsports.com, not only can we supply all the parts, but we can custom build your dream simulator rig from start to finish. Just like we have done for world famous drivers like rally legend Craig Breen, drift superstars James Dean and Conor Shanahan. We can build, deliver and set up your full custom simulator rig in your home and offer round-the-clock support to keep you racing to the top. To find out more, visit digitalmotorsports.com.
Welcome back to the Digital Motorsports Indy 2000 season finale here from Road America in Wisconsin. We have just seen a move for Oscar Mangan to be up in second place. Hope you enjoyed that advert, actually, and do check out that product. I don't actually know what advert was showing, to be honest, but whatever product it was, go to and check out Digital Motorsports. Of course, next time we're racing. Providing some fantastic sim rigs, so do certainly check them out, and do go on digitalmotorsports.com as well. Mangan up in second place in the car number 99, now heading after the car number 9. Gap is 2.3 seconds, and on that last lap, Mangan was 0.4 of a second faster. So even if Mangan can't win the championship, I'm sure he would like to be able to boast over Keith Dempsey for this final race of the season win. However, Mangan hasn't dropped Peter Dempsey, and we know Peter Dempsey is pretty mental today. We've seen this throughout the season. He is mega aggressive, is Peter Dempsey, and if he goes for a couple of dives on Mangan, then that's going to really compromise Mangan's chances of catching up to the leader.
Well, I just gotta say, Peter Dempsey being aggressive, that is all to do with that flag that he's running.
As a hawk flies by, screeching by, America. No, Peter, I don't think is. Well, I don't want to say properly. I don't think he's an American-born citizen. I think he moved to America, hence why he is American and Keith is not. But perhaps he's taking your racing culture there, Austin. And that's why he's driving as he is. Evan Walsh, by the way, now 14 places, highest gainer on the grid, up to 5th place. Owns a Pro 2000 team. Does Peter Dempsey in real life? So that's why he relocated to America, and also has taken part in quite a few races in this car as well at Indianapolis as well.
May have to give him a call.
Yeah, you want to drive? Maybe give him a call. I mean, if your driving's as good as your commentating, Austin, then you'd be Ayrton Senna, frankly. So, maybe that will get you a seat.
Just don't mention the entire 2013 season.
Oh, yes, of course.
Different car than what they were driving too, so. But yes. Anyway.
Yes, moving on. Walsh The car number 4, he's lost the position to McCann, but he's try and come back again. So yeah, go on board with the shoulder cam. Walsh all over the place. Nearly losing the machine. But we'll soon be back onto the straight.
Yeah, Walsh and McCann. Notes gearbox. You just see McCann struggling with the car on the exit. Just pushing harder than the limits, letting off, pushing again, and that back end is dancing. Very Senna-like with the throttle application, just constant on and off of the throttle. And here comes Evan, and he's let off as they're going to turn 1. And there was a car coming out of pit lane. That was Murray. It doesn't look like Murray was actually actively going out to pit lane, and he was letting these two by.
Yes. Murray is 2 laps down at the moment. One of my favourite things of this series has been this camera. I really do like this camera, and also the other shoulder camera that we've got. It's the left front one. Really do like these shoulder cameras.
There
so
needs to be
hopefully,
more shoulder cams.
yeah. Well, I've tried to include it in the GT stuff.
In open wheelers, it doesn't work in GT cars.
Oh well, it's all right in GT car. I've tried it in the GTs, but certainly open wheels. You're right. Shoulder camera is the best. It's the best camera. So hopefully pick another single seater, please, next season Digital Motorsports, and so we can have a few more shoulder cameras. But it's a nice way of watching the action.
Now, iRacing has a big selection of single seaters. Got the Skip Barber, Formula Renault 2.0, Formula Renault 3.5, Formula 3, USF 2000, FW31, MP4, and you got this car. Oh, and you also got the best car in the game, the Indy car. I'm not biased at all.
Yeah. I've driven the Indy car. It's a lot of fun. It's easier to drive than I thought it would be. It's a lot easier to drive than the F1 cars. So it's not... For these guys, I think after spending a season in this car, I think going into the Indy car, I think they'd be able to hold their own. I think going straight into the Indy car from like GT cars would be very cheap. I think now they've got a single seat experience, go for the Indy car next season. I think it'd be great.
Well, these cars are on the official road to Indy, so it is a good stepping stone for them, and it's just like replicating the real-life ladder of Skip Barber, USF 2000, PM 2000. We are missing that final step of Indy Lights, which is basically the Formula Renault 3.5 car, and then IndyCar.
I thought this was the final one to IndyCar. I thought this was the second ladder.
And you and a lot of people thought that too, but
I swear in the car
Indy
description
Lights
it says that, doesn't it?
it's on the road to Indy. It's one of the final steps, but it's not.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
As, Walsh and McCann! Wheel banging coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, Walsh back ahead then, but this battle isn't going to be over for a while. Now we saw, who was it? Adriansons and someone else on Sunday in the Apex Racing League GT Championship. Swapped positions about 10 times around the circuit in their race too. I think we're going to see a similar battle or a similar position in this race as well. In the lead, by the way, down to 1.6 seconds now is the lead. That last lap, Mangan was 0.6 of a second faster. So he's got time. We've got 5 more laps to go after this one. So he's got plenty of time to catch up as McCann will move back ahead again. Will Walsh do him on the bricks? No, he won't. Gap down to 1.6. We'll compare lap times. You'll see the lap times pop out from the timing tower here, and Dempsey is going to cross the line, 2:01, and Mangan only a tenth faster on that. So Dempsey a little bit faster, Mangan a little bit slower on that last lap, and the gap doesn't change a whole lot.
Dempsey is going a bit slower, and Manigan's noticing this. Because when we left that battle, that gap was up to 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds actually. That's down to 1.5 seconds now. So Manigan is sniffing. He's sniffing at him. And he's just barely outside the draft of that car.
Michael definitely setting some good times as well. Definitely one of the closest drivers to a race win earlier on the season. Got taken out by a back marker when leading the race at Laguna Seca. So he's a very good driver, is Devaney, and only a couple of tenths of a second slower than these top 3 drivers. Peter Dempsey now 8 tenths of a second behind. He's just losing the draft. He'll still have a little bit of draft, but it's not quite enough for him to get back onto the tail of Mangan. So that'll be a little bit annoying for Peter Dempsey. That hasn't quite been able to stay quite close enough. He'll have to hope that Mangan catches up to Keith Dempsey and then holds him up. Remember, Keith Dempsey needs to finish in this race in the top 10 in order to take the championship, as that's a shame. Evan Walsh, after driving a brilliant race from 19th on the grid, he was up into 5th place.
Turn 5.
And he'd made a bit of a gap as well, but then loses it by himself.
There goes that nose and everything. Turn 5, after you come up off that rise, that is the trickiest corner on this course. Not being known as the trickiest corner on this course, but for me, I can never get it right. So if you ever see me on this race, you'll know where I crash.
It's a bit like the 3rd to final corner at Watkins Glen, I think, where you go up the hill and then it just goes flat, doesn't it? And you lose so much grip. I think the downforce really does lose you. Yeah, off camber, as you say. And you need to use all the pace. It's a really awkward corner. I love this circuit, but I will admit that one's not a fantastic one. It's just to get through the corner and then get on to the rest of the circuit, which, in my opinion at least, is very good. However, my co-commentator somehow disagrees with me.
I like the track to race on. I do not like the track to test on and just drive by yourself. I'm not a fan of straights 90-degree corners, because that's all I see on this track.
They're good 90-degree corners. I mean, they're such a... Daytona prototype, Corvette C7 Daytona prototype, this circuit, my dream car combination. And of course, you can buy the Corvette C7 Daytona prototype for $2.95. Why it's not free, I don't know. iRacing, come on. I don't know if they're hoping to make millions and fund the business by these Corvette C7 DP sales, but I don't know why they don't make the car just free. But buy it anyway. $3 for a fantastic car. You won't use it, but you can use it in a test session, and it's really good fun. So do buy it. Honestly, well, $2.95. We're on the iRacing Sports Network, so hopefully we don't get the plug pulled. But it's silly from iRacing. It should be free.
Just note, Sam is the one saying this. Austin is clean. I have not said anything bad about this. All right.
You know, it'll be the commentary company that goes down. It'll be Apex who loses out. So you won't have any commentaries. You'll have to skip boats and go work with someone else. I can imagine worse things, to be fair.
Thankfully, commentary is not my full-time job. I do have something else that I have fall back on, so that's good. But commentary is an absolute love of mine. So please don't kill us, Sam.
Okay, I'll hold it back. I'll hold it back. Rain, please, by the way. Rain confirmed next season. Very excited about that. No, I really shouldn't say that. Rain isn't confirmed. Rain isn't coming. It's not coming for 2 years, probably.
Rain never comes. Just look at the F1 race at Spain.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I wasn't awake to see that one. I was asleep. Just what a race!
You actually didn't miss anything.
What a race! McCann versus Devaney. Dead level. This is Devaney made a mistake. Devaney lost 9 seconds on that last lap with a spin.
Ooh, Michael.
And now McCann is passed up into 4th place. Great result right now for Peter McCann. Definitely made a mistake in sector 3. That's sector 3 out of 6, so it must have been around this part of the circuit then. Made a mistake, did Devaney. After driving some really well, he was saying some good lap times, Devaney. Easy 4th place, but he's dropped back now, and he's continuing to drop back. So maybe he hit the wall.
Oh no!
McCann's now off the circuit. Neither of them want the place.
Road America is so tricky. Because you see the car ahead of you make a mistake, and you just want to just dig it into the grave right there. But the track is so narrow that a car making a mistake is going to be on the racing line because the car and the track kind of flows together so that, especially that ending sector, the outside of the track is now the inside of the track, and Michael Devaney on the inside of the track right now, heading into Canada corner, very late on the brakes, side by side they go. Michael jumps up into 4th place ahead of McCann.
McCann will have the toe though. We're on to the last couple of laps of this final race of the season. Gap is down to 1.2 seconds, 2/10 faster for Mangan, but still, yeah, 1.2 seconds. Might be on for a last lap battle. But meanwhile, for 4, McCann definitely coming back. Definitely is coming back. And also stacking De Soswa alongside one another just behind. Didn't realise that those two were quite so close to this battle. They've lost a lot of time. However, if these guys start battling, then they're not going to be able to make up any places. We know De Soswa kind of goes for a move whenever he sees an opportunity. At least that seems to be how he's driven. Stack, by the way, 2:03 on that last lap. Stunning lap time, faster than Peter Dempsey in 3rd place, only half second off the race leaders. They gained by 4 seconds on that last lap on Devaney and McCann. Such was the time that they were losing. That's why they've all of a sudden made up a massive gap. But they're going to need the 2 ahead to battle a little bit longer for them to catch up. As there goes De Soswa again. I think it'd be smart for De Soswa just to stay behind Stack because he could get drafted up to the back of the 2 ahead.
Hey, with 2 laps to go, anything can happen.
Oh, he's made a mistake now. Screw that. Throw it in the bin.
Including that.
Hopefully Stack will catch up to the others though. Yeah, De Soswa with a big slide. Surprised we haven't seen more spins. We saw loads of spins in race 1 and particularly in the amateur race earlier on, the Pro-Am race earlier on, where of course we crowned our champion for the season.
And I think we're about to crown another champion, but the battle for the lead right now has heated up because Mangan is within a second. He's on the second. Keith.
Yeah, 1.1. He hasn't taken, look at that, he's only taken 5 thousandths out on that last lap. Dempsey's driven without fault, personal best lap of the race. A couple more laps, I think Mangan would have him, but Dempsey holding on at the moment. Devaney now on to, well, Devaney, sorry, lost the place to Stack. Apologies, I didn't mention that one. Stack has got a chance to catch up to McCann. This is insane. It's like Lando Norris scenario 7 right now. Switch it into an extra gear and go chase after the drivers ahead. He could be on for 4th place, Stack, which would be phenomenal for him. But it's, yeah, Keith Dempsey leading the way, 1.17 seconds clear of Mangan. Mangan just getting a waft of toe now, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I really want to Mangan. He's in a second. Keith Dempsey slowing down. Mangan is with him. He's in that draft, but it's not going to be close enough unless Keith absolutely has a stinker of a corner heading into the carousel, but that was as perfect as you could be, or as safe as you could be. And it's all about the carousel right now and Canada corner. Your headspace after 15 laps of racing, 30 minutes into it, you start getting a little bit relaxed now, and mistakes just sneak up onto you. But Keith Dempsey has been mistake-free this entire time as he is in the lead and primed to take the championship right now. Makes it through Canada corner, absolutely perfect. Manigan is charging in, but Keith is just too far away. 1 corner to go.
Here comes Keith Dempsey then. He won the Touring Car Championship a couple of seasons ago, and he is going to win the Indy Pro 2000 Championship as well. It's another Digital Motorsports crown for Keith Dempsey and Turn 3 Motorsports. He is the champion. He finishes it off in perfect style, taking the race to victory. Mangan maybe needed 1 more lap, but there was no question about the champion today. Dempsey with a very mature drive, very slow run to the line for McCann, and Stack gets 4.
Stack's gonna steal it for 4th place.
That was very odd. Why was McCann so slow? And also dead level almost between Devaney and De Soswa. Devaney holds on with clearly damage, I think, at the end of that race. Devaney, he was a couple of seconds slower. by the end than he was earlier on in the event. And we'll just wait for the other drivers to cross the line and finish off their seasons. But Keith Dempsey, I mean, I've watched this entire season, and it's been very tricky to get a good meeting. I mean, all of these drivers have had crashes for the season. Many of the title challengers have crashed into one another on multiple occasions this season. It's been a crazy championship, but Keith Dempsey with a couple of fantastic final rounds of the championship, and he clinches the title. That final race as well, though, Austin, that basically epitomizes kind of good experience driving. I mean, he was so consistent every lap within quarters of a second of one another, and he held off a hard-charging Oscar Mang.
Yeah, Keith played the game perfectly today. Came out with the win. Came out with the championship. And I'm going to send the key to that. Lap 1 and 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Got the gap, didn't he? And that should be championship set up for him. 50 points there. And so I think Dempsey might be the highest point scorer today. I think he is. Maybe level with Mangan. Mangan with a couple of second places too. First, I think they're level with one another. But still very impressive from the two of them. Dempsey then takes the last win of the season, 8/10 of a second clear of Oscar Mangan. Heat to Dempsey in third. Then it was Tony Stack. Great drive, 29 seconds off the lead, but he'll be delighted now. Did Stack come into the pits? No, he didn't. He was just really slow at the start. Don't know what happened to him at the start, but was absolutely storming through by the end. Then Peter McCann, to be fair, Stack did start 17th. That might have something to do with it. Peter McCann finishes in 5th. There was Michael Devaney, Lawrence de Soswa, Jason Cooper. Cooper was doing very well on the air stage. He was top of the drivers. He had to come into the pits for repairs. You question whether Cooper could have certainly got a podium out of that. Maybe even the race win. Ocean Walsh was in 9th. There was Brian McManus, Nicky Meredith, Arias Yamantis, Robert Moore, Valentinas Marchenkovas, Robert Babel, Richard Faulkner, Evan Walsh, Ewan Murray, Shane Rabbit, and Jordan Kelly didn't take the start. Did Jordan Kelly, unfortunately. So we will get a chat with some of the drivers. We are going to first have a chat with. We're going to have. I think we'll talk to Rory O'Shea first, because he ended up second place in championship. Rory, absolutely terrific effort out there. You gave it your all, and in the end, just a little bit of unluckiness in that race too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess it does happen. It does happen in these sort of races. Like, it was a bit of a mess there going down that straight. Like, I think the guy behind me had a bit more speed and just kind of maybe just couldn't slow himself down and hit me. Like,
yeah, it was absolutely good, especially as you were up like 6 places, I think, at that point in the race as well. But I mean, going into that race too, were you tense at all? Because it was literally a case of, if you finished ahead of Naveed, you'd win the championship. If Naveed finished ahead of you, he'd win the championship. So, I mean, was there much tension? What was going through your mind going into that race too?
nah, not a huge amount of tension. I was just thinking what you were saying there, just had to beat Naveed really. And I wasn't, I was alright. A bit nervous, of course, because there's big championship on the line, but I think I was okay.
But overall this season, you must be pleased with the effort. I mean, as far as I've seen, I've only done the last couple of minutes, you kind of maximise the points with some really consistent drives. Are you kind of pleased with how you've driven this season? Also, kind of what's your season highlight as well?
I'm delighted with it. This is by far the best championship I've ever had in digitalmotorsports.com series. Like, so I'm very happy to be racing against like Naveed and giving him a run for his money. I'd say that highlight would probably be one of the wins. I won the feature in Daytona, then I won it in Virginia. I'd say either of them would definitely be a highlight.
You've also got the driver of the championship award as well, which is that's pretty great. May not be the title, but driver of the championship, awarded by Niall Meyer in the admin. So hey, that's very much testament to how you've driven.
Yep, that's excellent. Thank you, Niall. And so I'd say thanks to all the lads at Digital Motorsports for the whole championship and working very hard on it and making it a very good championship.
Absolutely. And going into next season, well, can we expect you back for next season? And if you could drive any car for next season, what would it be?
So yeah, you should definitely expect me back for next season. Yeah, I was thinking about that myself actually. Maybe something like, I don't know, Porsche Cup maybe. I recently started driving it, and it's a great car to drive, so it would be a good car.
I 100% agree with you. I'd certainly back that one. Before we let you go, Rory, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Naveed Hussein for just a great championship. We were racing very well, especially in the heat race today. And thanks to him, well done.
Absolutely. Thanks for having a chat with us, Rory. Thanks for making it such an entertaining show this season, and congrats on that second place in the championship as well. Hopefully, we'll see you back very soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Rory O'Shea there, second place in the championship, and your driver of the season as well. That is quite an award for Rory there. Congratulations to him. We are also going to have a talk with Keith Dempsey, or are we? Are we going to have it? There you go, he pops out for a second. But he's back with us now. Keith Dempsey is in the commentary box with us, and we can say that he is the champion for this Indy Pro 2000 championship. As long as there's no caveats or anything to that. Congratulations, Keith. You won the touring car championship, but I imagine this one was a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, definitely not the easiest of championships so far. It's definitely the most difficult one yet. But I really enjoyed it. It's nice to get the win there in the last race as well. I had good pace. I just didn't get a good start in the first race. I made a bit of a bollocks of it, but just put myself back in the pack and then let the two lads get away. I had good race pace, but just couldn't really show it once they're in the tow. So no, good, delighted to get the win, and obviously the championship is nice as well.
Did you enter this round of the championship with a different mentality to normal, seeing that you had a cushion in the championship?
No, as I said to you before, I just want to have good races. I wasn't really too concerned about the championship, although it is great to have good sponsors on board, a bit of prize money there as well from Next Level Racing and the lads of Digital Motorsport. So it's really appreciated, and fair play to them all for putting in the hard work and the support.
How would you say you've kind of gelled with this car? Do you feel like you've improved in single seaters as the season has gone on?
I think it was pretty good from the start, to be honest with you. I won the F3 championship as well, and I won the TCR one, so doesn't really make. I'll drive anything, like, being a wheelbarrow, I'll drive that, I don't mind. So just once everybody's in the same car, it's the kind of challenge that I like. So yeah, I don't mind. I'm looking forward to whatever car is in the next championship.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. I mean, if I had to push you, I mean, is there a car that you'd really like to race in?
No, I'm not. I'm honestly not too concerned. I think he's always done like single seater saloon. So it's very likely it'll be a saloon car again for the next championship. So yeah, if all the guys who are in this one stay in for the next one, it'd be really good. If we could maybe attract some other top drivers in, it would be it'd be a really competitive championship. I think then very good for the lads at Digital Motorsport. They've attracted a lot of top quality drivers in.
Definitely. Well, once again, Keith, congratulations on your on another Digital Motorsports Championship. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the lads in Digital Motorsport, Next Level Racing, Apex, guys in Turn 3, and my wife and 2 kids who let me go on every Wednesday.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Keith. And yeah, see you back very soon on Apex Racing TV.
Thanks, Sam.
Keith Dempsey there for Turn 3 Motorsports with the championship win and the last race win of the season as well. So we've had a chat with our pro champion. We're also going to be able to have a chat with our amateur champion as well. Naveed Hussein is in the commentary box with us now. Congratulations, Naveed. It went down to the wire, but you have become the amateur champion. You must be delighted.
Yeah, super happy. Yes. It was tough, but yeah, very happy.
It's been a tricky season for you. I mean, awesome in race ones. I think you won all the race ones, but race twos haven't been so easy. Just lots of different incidents happening to you each time. But today, perfect both races.
I was lucky. I mean, Rory in the race too he's unstoppable. So I was very lucky, to be honest. So yeah, just kind of over the moon now at the minute. Just very happy.
And going into next season, if there's kind of the choice of taking part in the Pro Championship or the Amateur Championship, will you be choosing the Pro? Because I think you give those guys a run for their money.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll do the next one, to be honest. I might sit it out. My son's doing a bit of sim racing now at the minute, so I might just leave him on it and try give him a few pointers. So yeah, I'll probably sit out the next one. The one after, maybe I'll think about going into that one. I don't know what class I'll race in though. I'll have to look into it.
Apparently, you are now a pro. Niles just sent us a message saying you're now a pro. So you're too good. You're too good. Clearly, you've been promoted. Right there. Yeah. So going back on this season, I mean, is there a highlight from your championship? Was there a moment which you're particularly proud of from this season?
The oval race was a lot of fun with all the guys, Pro and Pro-Am. But I'd probably say race one here at Road America with Rory was real tough, and I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it was 2 seconds across the line. He was super fast in qualifying. And yeah, just once I got out of the draft, I was lucky because he was just as quick, if not a little bit quicker. So yeah, the races like that are the fun thing, you know. So that's probably my highlight.
Awesome. Well, real thanks for having a chat with us, Naveed. Is there anyone you'd like to give thanks to?
Yeah, everybody we're racing with. Great guys to be sharing the track with. Thanks to Digital Motorsports, of course, for setting up this great championship, and thanks to my family for giving me the time to be on the sim all the time, you know. So yeah, thanks to all those guys, and to you guys, of course, as well. The commentary has been brilliant all season, so thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Naveed, and yeah, hopefully we see you back, or maybe your son back very soon on Apex Racing TV.
Thanks very much.
Naveed, he's saying that your amateur championship winner for this season. Unfortunately, Austin's vacated me, so thanks to Austin, though, for jumping in, and it's a little bit of a shame that we didn't get Jack Canan in the commentary box with us today, but hopefully we'll see him back for the next season of Digital Motorsports. Not sure when it's going to start up again, but we might share a post on Apex Racing TV on our social media platforms. But mainly, just go to digitalmotorsports.com because you can check out lots of different products that you can purchase from Next Level Racing, and all those sim rigs are really fantastic quality. So do go to Next Level Racing or digitalmotorsports.com, and you can purchase all of that. And you can also sign up for next season as well. Don't think the sign up is open yet, but I'm sure it will be open within the next couple of weeks once the cars and the tracks are determined. I'm sure that will be finalized in the next couple of weeks, so certainly do take part in that one. Of course, if you've enjoyed this broadcast, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network and to Apex Racing TV. And also do check out our social media as well on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well for Apex Racing TV. But thanks to the organisers for the championship. They've done a fantastic job at Digital Motorsports once again for producing a very high quality and very well run league. Thanks to the drivers for making a show of it, because without them we wouldn't be having this broadcast. We wouldn't have anything to show. So real thanks to them for making this really entertaining championship. Thanks to Jack Canan, of course, for being in the commentary box for most of the season, and thanks to Sam Kuma as well, who's done all the broadcasting for the season, and thanks to Austin as well. I've been Sam Fitzpatrick in the commentary box, and we will see you back very soon. But it's Naveed Hussain, your amateur champion. It's Keith Dempsey, your pro champion. We'll see you back for next season of the Digital Motorsports Championship. See you then.
Enjoying what you're watching and want to become the next sim racing star? Here at digitalmotorsports.com, not only can we supply all the parts, but we can custom build your dream simulator rig from start to finish. Just like we have done for world famous drivers like rally legend Craig Breen, drift superstars James Dean and Conor Shanahan. We can build, deliver and set up your full custom simulator rig in your home and offer round the clock support to keep you racing to the top. To find out more, visit digitalmotorsports.com. Enjoying what you're watching and want to become the next sim racing star? Here at digitalmotorsports.com, not only can we supply all the parts, but we can custom build your dream simulator rig from start to finish. Just like we have done for world famous drivers like rally legend Craig Breen, drift superstars James Dean and Conor Shanahan. We can build, deliver and set up your full custom simulator rig in your home and offer round the clock support to keep you racing to the top. To find out more, visit digitalmotorsports.com. Are you itching to get racing? Whether it's circuit racing, drifting, rallying or even karting, here at digitalmotorsports.com we run some of the best online leagues in the world. To get involved, visit our website at digitalmotorsports.com and enroll for our next event.